Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jousy Joshua Kooko. You're most welcome. This is the HardLock Podcast. For those who are watching for the very first time, this is episode number 9. We're about to hit the 10th mark. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a big artist for you coming up in the 10th episode. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only, that is Unckle Nyax, joining us for this particular episode. But before we do anything as usual, let's run the intro of the show. And when I get back here, we'll be speaking about the good, the downright ugly of the week, exactly what happened last week. I will be sharing with you that as well. So let's run the intro of the show. I will be right back. Well, welcome back from the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be wondering where we are right now, and I can assure you we are at Also Arts Studios in Mvara. That's where we are, with a lot of amazing background, everything going on. That's where we are. We're doing a few changes to make sure we give you the best show. And of course, later on, the interview with the Unckle Nyax is going to happen, of course, at Triplex. But this particular segment, we have chosen to do it right here at Also Arts Studios in Mvara. Now, looking at the good and downright ugly of the week, ladies and gentlemen, I have for you two amazing stories, and we starting locally with the one himself. Now, another clash of events is actually about to happen this particular Saturday, 26th of November, as local artist, Western local artist, the man himself, Virus One Stone. Remember, we had him here a couple of weeks ago, and where he is having his Where I Am From EP listening launch, while Uganda's diva Shiba Karungi is also performing that very same night in here, Arua. Now, Virus, who we had here a couple of weeks ago on the show, is set to have his event at Heritage Courts, Arua, and Shiba Karungi will grace the stage at Santa Maria, that is in Santa Maria Hotel in Arua. Now, I already told him a couple of weeks ago, remember when he was here on the show, I told him realistically, for me, this doesn't make sense. And I remember my words carefully and said this was a very stupid risk he was taking because of the two career levels of the two artists. And remember what happened during Arua 1FM theme night versus Capital FM National Tour. It went down horribly. They were all at the same night, that is last month just. And Arua 1 event was horribly attended, and a lot of people went to Capital FM's event. So that is my verdict. I don't know where you guys are going to be this particular week. Please drop in the comments exactly this Saturday, 26th, where you're going to be for the night moment. Now, speaking about Eddie Kenzo, my guy, after staging one of the most successful concerts in Uganda's history last Saturday, called the Eddie Kenzo Festival at Kololo Independence Ground, now the man himself, Eddie Kenzo, actually has been nominated for the prestigious Grammy Awards 2023 in the category of Best Global Music Performance. Now, Kenzo earned the nomination for his collaboration song called Gimme Love with American singer, that is Matt B. Now, other artists that have been also nominated in the same category are Burna Boy for his song Last Last. We have another guy called Roods, Aftab, and Anushka Shankar, and many other names still in that same category. Now remember, Eddie Kenzo is not actually the very first Uganda to be nominated in the Grammy Awards, because in 2005, an album called Abayudaya from the Jewish people of Uganda, from Eastern Uganda, was nominated for a Best Traditional World Music Album category at the 47th Grammy Awards. Now, it should also be remembered that Kenzo grabbed the Viewer's Choice Best New International Artist Award at the 2015 BET Awards held in Los Angeles. Now, we're very proud of you, Kenzo. We wish you all the best in your hustles, and we can't wait for you to bring this back to Uganda. Okay, speaking also of Winnie Nwadi, Swang's Avenue singer, that is Winnie Nwadi, aka Fire Baby, has been all over the news last week. Becoming actually a laughing stock when her makeup actually literally melted down her face during the performance at a very seriously flopped concert called the Beanie Man concert at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Now, putting aside the failures of the show, Nwadi was roasted by bloggers and her followers on social media as they called out her makeup artist for not doing a very great job. Other people are saying that, the makeup is so cheap that probably it was bought from Congo, Now, but as usual, Winnie Nwadi went to her Instagram, posted a video shaking her nyash with the caption of, "Y'all miserable, disgusting blockers should kiss my nyash." Now, the concert that massively flopped had international names like Beenie Man here, Oxlade, and South African entertainers like Focalistic. We had Melo and Sleazy coming in, but it actually turned into a very big disappointment because of the very low turn-up it registered. Now, it is said that out of the thousands of people expected to turn up for this event, about only 300 people came to the venue of the event. Many believe that Top Boy Entertainment Records, the promoters who booked Beenie Man, actually should be blamed for this particular show flop because it was, first of all, poorly planned, and because there were a lot of actually other events that particular night. We had the Bizonto guys, they were here, and so many other events that particular night, and also it was not marketed very well. In fact, so many other people did not know about this particular concert. But singer Oxlade actually refused to go on stage. He said that he was not fully clear, that's why he was not performing. But we congratulate the man himself, that is Beenie Man, who never shied away from anything, and he went on stage and performed from around 11 p.m. for a whole 1 hour. That was awesome. That was very brave of the man himself, Beenie Man. And next time, better, my guy. When probably you come back, we shall give you audience one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, those are our stories for this particular good and downright ugly of the week. And my name is Jousy Joshua Kooko. For those who are just joining right now, this is the HardLock Podcast. This episode number 9, and we are also at studios filming this particular one here in Arua. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any time to waste. Like I told you earlier on, we have the man himself, the comedian who has been in this industry for so many years. He has been a media personality as well, and we're going to speak about what I'm saying was, and you're going to discover why, because I will exactly tell you what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into a section where we have the man himself, Unckle Nyax, speaking to us at the venue of Triplex Hotels. Let's go. Hello and hi guys, how are you doing? One more time, like I told you earlier on, I have the man himself, the comedian. This guy, he is the real definition of comedy in the industry of the northern section of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Mr. Nyakuni Alfred aka Unckle Nyax. Karibu.
Thank you.
Gonero.
Alaro.
Ale. Now, for those who do not know, Unckle Nyax is his real name is Nyakuni Alfred. He's one of the funniest comedians to ever exist in this region. Karibu. How is life? How are you? How is everything? It's been a while since you appeared on an interview, I think.
I think my first time though. I'm fine.
Yes.
I enjoy life the way the Almighty has given it to me.
Otherwise, for those who don't know, I think I have a lot of history with Nyax. I've been doing comedy for so many years now, and you will not remember this story, but it was at Vino Lounge. And we had a comedian coming from Kampala and was supposed to have gone on stage. The other two famous comedians of Arua, they ignored me, and I was at the door because I was supposed to be performing, but nobody could allow me to enter. So you came from nowhere with your motorcycle by then and saying with the bags at the side. Exactly. And he just told me, I was supposed to enter, but nobody is assisting me. So let's go. And for me, I think in that point, that's how Daniel Omara saw me, took me to Kampala. That's how I became a big name in comedy. Thank you so much for that opportunity, first of all.
I must appreciate your thanksgiving to me. But however, what I want to say is that I, as a person, have been brought up in a way that you don't have to do everything yourself.
Yes.
Then that means you must begin to mentor a younger talent.
Yeah.
Since I'm getting older, I'm not going to be in this field for much longer.
Yeah.
I will have to retire with a tata koi under a mango tree in my home.
Yeah.
Maybe occasionally be carried by my children to go and watch some of you guys who are younger that I mentored.
Yeah.
It gives me pleasure because as a teacher that I am,
Yes.
you even feel happier if your own students become more successful
than you. You know you have done a very good job.
You know you have done your part.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Speaking about teaching, by the way, I have a question for you on that line. Yeah. You are actually a full-time secondary school teacher, and he teaches physics and mathematics, and he's a full-time teacher, and now he's also an entertainer. Now, I keep always wondering, how does Nyax balance the character of being serious in class, and also because you have to be serious in front of the classroom, but also you have to be funny. How do you balance? Don't the students take you for granted? How do you balance that, livelihood?
Now, because I've been teaching girls' schools all my life,
yes,
to let the girl child feel that science is actually easy to pass. You have to bring it down Even sometimes when you talk about gravity, a stone falling on the ground, you talk about the ABO story on how he was killing animals using a stone. Say kinetic and potential changes to kinetic energy.
So you bring in jokes as well.
A little joke a bit. But they were also accusing me that we don't know the difference between what he's teaching and his comic and stuff. So that's but you have to mix it up. That's life is a mixture.
Okay, so you have been able to at least find a perfect balance for the two
blend
characters.
Between the different parts of life.
But I think also I've seen you do. I think you intertwine the two because I've also seen you on stage cracking jokes about school life. And students, how funny students are. So I think it's a very good balance for you.
Yeah.
Now the comedy industry in West Nile is really suffering so much at the moment. We just had a conversation with you outside before we came in for this show, and where the industry is really taking a slow growth. According to you, what do you think could be some of the challenges affecting this industry, and what do you think can be done better?
My perception about comedy in West Nile being at a very low pace is that our people don't think that you can just come pay money at a gate and then you go and watch one of your own
to make you laugh.
I hear make you laugh. They will say, I hear make you laugh. They don't understand this. Because we tried it a number of times. And I remember at Onduparaga, one of my friends, we used to call him Mr. Rotten, Mabwa was pulled from the stage that what they are saying, we have had you come down, we want to dance.
Wow.
It has been a challenge. And I know changing people's mindset and attitude takes quite a while.
Yes.
And people of West Nile, especially the Lubara, they like what is foreign.
Yes. Well, so what do you think we can do about this? Should we who are doing who in the industry, in the comedy industry, should we
don't give up?
Yes.
You must persist because over time, then you realize that a few people will begin to change their attitude to be like that what is called comedy.
Okay.
Because if you laugh, you get younger.
Exactly.
If you are annoyed, you use a lot of energy to wrinkle your face because you hate somebody and you see the person coming in, you wrinkle your face and you get older faster.
Yeah.
Really appreciate people should take up comedy because it makes life easier.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
Now, I've discovered that in the career you've been having, you've done comedy for all these years. But if you go to someone in Kampala and ask about northern comedians in the north, for example, it is very hard for people to point the name Unckle Nyax in that list.
Yeah.
And I do not know how, or what do you think has been the challenge, especially for you, hitting it out there? I tried my level best to also go out there, but it was quite a little bit difficult. But for you, what is the challenge? You haven't gone outside the industry of northern Uganda.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Basically because I've never taken comedy as a source of income.
Okay.
After qualifying as a teacher, a secondary school teacher, I have just been in my classroom doing my physics and maths. I never thought about breaking out of that system to go and do comedy as a profession. And therefore, that limited my exposure. However, when I tried to organize some local talent, that included the likes of Baby Francis,
myself,
the likes of you, the likes of Ziggy Zaga, the likes of Manpatu, then the Rotten,
Sande Olise also was there.
The Bilia Feman is called Affix. Trying to put them together at Heritage Courts. We actually went a little while, and already doors were opening for us.
Yes.
In South Sudan, Juba, in Kampala, but then as a chairperson of the group and being committed in class, I didn't have much to expose them. But I wanted us to be appreciated locally first before we can export our talent. You
also, let's talk a little bit about politics. You ventured into politics following the death of the Honorable Ibrahim Abriga the late in 2018. You contested in the by-elections on the independent ticket. and you came fourth last out of 12 contestants.
Yeah.
And Electoral Commission's official website said you got 30 votes. Earlier, when you said you are a household name, especially the number one got almost 6,000 votes, and you got only 30 votes. What do you attribute this kind of low voting to?
My understanding of politics
Yes.
was different before I joined it.
Okay.
I thought popularity would take you so many miles.
Yes.
But then when I got into the field, I discovered that what plays a role includes money.
Money, okay.
So you must be able to dish money.
Okay, which you did not have by then.
A secondary school teacher, where would I get all that money to dish?
Science teacher, they are being paid 4 million now.
No, this is now. But they're talking about 2018.
Yes.
That is one. Two.
Yes.
The definition of politics, especially in the Lumbara land and West Nile in particular, I could say, is that you must be somebody who can tell a good lie.
Okay.
Tell a good lie and even insult your opponents using the most vulgar language that makes the people laugh. And me being brought up in a Christian way, I didn't like to dish my opponents.
Yes.
I didn't have the money. And why more precisely, the women who are the majority voters told me, your radio program, Enjonia Canadania, is what makes us produce children. Because when people laugh, they can jump on their husbands and then they share the love and other things happen, and they will never send me to parliament. If I go to parliament, who is going to make them produce children? And then I understood them. I said, it's okay, I will remain.
So they decided to give you 30 votes only?
Actually, there were 29 people who voted. If the Electoral Commission says 30,
they said 30.
29 voted for me. Then the 30th was my vote.
Definitely. That you actually did a video on. I'm basically, like I told you earlier, this is the HardLock. We just want to debunk a few theories about what people say about individuals and all that. In 2000, actually, one of the hardest years of your life, I must say, was in 2017. You got involved in an accident, horrible, life-threatening accident along Vara Road that almost costed your life, actually. But we thank God because you fully recovered and able to come back to doing what you do. And what would you say is one of the biggest lessons you learned from this experience? 2
months down the road after the accident, being in coma, you really don't know if you exist.
Wow.
You even don't know whether you can make poo-poo or you
urinate,
you susu, and then who handles the mess.
You
really don't know. I sort of got humbled. And aware that women are the majority who actually do this. I want to give credit to my mom and then my wife. And then some of their female friends that they involved. To make sure I was comfortable in my unconsciousness before I regained the consciousness.
For 2 whole months.
Then secondly, I'm told when I was in that bedridden situation and being a radio personality, Radio Pacis particularly made an announcement that I was involved in an accident in dire state, and if there are people who needed to help, they should be able to send
some contributions
to my wife's mobile money account. And apparently that later on when I got better, my wife was able to declare that she received close to 5 million shillings on her account, with other people even paying 1,000, others 2,000, 5, 10, 20, 500, 1 million and stuff. That got up to that total. So I really got humbled. I did not know who gave money to save my life. But I'm aware that there are people who can respond when somebody else is in need. And I expect that they don't leave that with me alone. If there are other people in the communities that suffer such a scenario, they should also help them just like they try to help my life.
So the biggest lesson is being humble.
I'm totally humbled. And when I also see people in similar situation, I feel obliged to pick something from my pocket
and
support,
that's
save
wonderful.
a life.
That's wonderful. Now speaking about the concept of contributions and giving. Now, in that period, there was so much rumors that happened. People speak.
Yeah.
People really talk a lot. Now, one of the things that went through is that immediately after your recovery, you came back and you couldn't now ride your Senke anymore. You acquired yourself a brand new car. I don't know if it was brand new, but there was a car. And the world went crazy. People went crazy. Some people started spreading rumors. You see, Unckle Nyax collected our contributions from the hospital, came out, bought a new car with it. He's now driving that car because of the money we contributed. Did you hear some of those rumors? And what message do you have to for people who kind of move these very interesting kind of rumors?
One thing for sure, I will not blame people for saying what they do, what they say.
Yes.
Basically because they are entitled to their opinion. The money that they gave to save my life, apparently the 5 million that my wife collected was deducted to pay for my feeding.
Yes.
Because my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner was catered for by the hospital. They call it International Hospital Kampala, Namongo. And they never allowed my attendants to feed me because my condition was bad.
Okay.
So they would give me the food that would mentally make me heal.
Yes.
And therefore, on daily basis, the 3 meals were costed at 100,000 per day.
Wow.
And because I spent about 6 months, that means some of the money had to come somewhere else. And I would want to thank particularly MSF.
Yes.
That is in Uganda. Because my wife works for MSF.
Yes.
And as MSF staff, I was part of the health insurance.
Oh, wonderful.
And so they would only load money on my account and wheel me from my bed to go and touch the machine with my thumb. And then the fingerprint would send that money to the hospital.
Wow.
I imagine with that situation not in condition, I should have passed away really.
Yeah.
But I must thank the people because they supported my meals at the hospital. Really. All these small contributions mattered a lot.
Yeah.
However,
so the car issue.
After I broke all the collarbones and they were fitted with metal implants.
Which some of them, by the still exist. You still have some of the metal implants.
They are still in my body. And the doctors told me, you're not going to ride a motorbike again. Then I thought to myself, how am I going to travel?
How would you move?
Yes. Then I discussed with my wife, said, no, I could get a salary loan. Please come to Arua because I'm in Kampala now in a hospital. Come to Arua, get a salary loan. I will go check a car. Then we got a car. This small.
To ease your movement, basically.
This is small spacio here. Yeah. But then when I got discharged from the hospital and I also attempted to stand for this member of parliament to replace my honorable who got killed.
Yeah.
Then
cold blood. Yeah.
The kind of politics we have in West Nile, you must ditch your colleague to gain political advantage. And therefore, to ditch me, one assumption was that I just recently got an accident and I'm mentally confused.
Wow.
That went around.
Because you had a blood clot. Actually, you're patient of blood clot.
That's what they said.
Yes.
Then secondly, they said that the calm driving is what they had contributed.
Wow.
And then for those who try to share the same with me and ask me questions that I went campaigning, I told them, these are my loan documents from Centenary.
Yeah.
Can you read to see if it is your money or it is a loan from the bank? Then other politicians said they have already bought me. They gave me money and that's the money I use for buying the car. And I'm not going to vote for myself because I'm already looking for, they've paid me 100 million.
Wow.
I'm already looking for a house to live in Kampala.
Wow.
So I'm not going to vote for myself. So people should not bother voting for me because I'm already bought.
Wow.
So those were political strategies
Oh.
that they can use to
By
gain
opponents.
advantage. So I did not see them bad because I have been brought up in a humble Christian family, and I don't believe in telling a huge lie, which I'm sure is not true, but just to gain a political advantage. But I forgive
Now
them
you know
because
better.
I
Now you know
much,
better.
Much better.
Now, as we conclude this interview, one of the most shocking news that we received in our entire lifetime that we never thought we would ever receive was this year, in July, where we were greeted by news of your contract termination by Radio Pacis after serving nearly 17 years with the radio station. And the contract termination letter that you actually posted on your Facebook page, Facebook wall, the media house terminated. They say that they terminated your contract over, in quotes, your behavior and attitude to your role. Now, we will not really go so much into the discussion of the accusations, whether they are true or not. I really will not want to get into the discussion because I know those are legal issues. But I need just to find out how you're coping up with this and what the future is for you to get back on radio. Because members, this guy has been on radio, a veteran for so many years. So we'd like to understand what are the plans you have for getting back maybe on radio. What is the future like?
I think I should say for the first time before an audience,
yes,
I was not meant to be a radio personality.
Oh, wow.
Because I have never trained as a journalist.
Wow.
However, I created a product called Is It a Lie or It's a Truth? Where people would give me information on what is happening so that we can correct a few injustices in society. However, over the 17 years experience on radio, especially Pacis, where this ran, people kept on reporting to me a few things that politicians did not do well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I got to learn that some of the senior politicians in this region did a few things that did not go well with the community, and once they reported them to me and I aired them, it didn't go down well with the management of Radio Pacis and then also with the politicians.
Yeah.
And then I got myself in trouble. I would prefer I keep my cool because the latest interaction I had with other people indicates that I should have been dead before this year ends.
Wow.
Because some of the stories I brought in the program made some people pay money to kill me. However, I don't want to blame anybody in the saga I am in, aware that no particular individual is bigger than the institution he or she works for.
Exactly.
So when they told me that the engineer Kani Adania was not good because it exposed the rot, politically or societal, then I said it's okay, I can leave it, then I'll live my life as I am. I was the first voice on an FM in West Nile.
Wow.
Was then Voice of Life.
Okay. Wow.
Around 97.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was the first voice on Voice of Life when we were still in Giaco.
Wow.
Later on, Voice of Life dropped me also under unclear circumstances. I left.
Arua 1.
I came to Arua 1. Also under unclear circumstances because not being paid, I also left. Everyone was still new. Then Nile FM came in. I tried to join in, but before they could announce us, Radio Pacis came on.
Took you over.
Yeah, took me over. I've been there actually longer, 17 years down the road.
Wow.
And I feel if I have to bounce back into another radio, it must be another radio. So I'm not so sure if it's not, and therefore I think I should keep a low profile for now until another radio, which is new. Then I think because I'm a creative person, I create a new product on that radio. Not the old product, because I know it's dangerous to my life. And no story, according to our news principles.
Yes, no story is bigger than your life.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Unckle Nyax, for coming on the show. This is the HardLock Podcast. I really appreciate you. And before we go, you have this camera right here. There's also the other camera. You can speak to your people even in your local language. It's okay. Speak to them. Tell them about anything you want to say. This is the opportunity now.
Mabapia walifo sana madunga rolugwa ratise azimi pretite anira mi mingi bike yoke na ay ngbade do mu bare ba mu zuba galera zinga zuba ga ede kire de ayo yonde ma rebina logo akude azira de ras kun ba yo de mane mama damate ayo aziyo mungu fudrio de srap so ma de kwa ma de ne classroom danda zuma vo kore amunda mande bare mari onda radio le mae e kade me mesira e trumara da den dio man kwa skula ma bp avore aina nda man radio aze kwa we taroko e trumata ba e ba pia fane ma yanga kura kala ale do anda de do o atsazo ngara ma de tada yare ko de tanu bata usi ma de do ayo amonza na kuinirike e kare sidene but dra kwa mazara inaza kama lerare se mawe dedero doba omutsa droze ma murane ale doba ziblem kwa skulo jona man onze banle zame drofuzorke ekido sarsi yo mado da akudo kibo mado omudra ojamane ndolasa ani do ma omuredio azarade ale mu radio azibanle do baba azo furaka ba ma sundor alela ko mado adra already azo la jira ni ledi mado da de on ba ma mu fudla ale ba za ba ni tande fe ko ke school fees ndana ka te ya sinda sba ada ani awdo fo mi amare se finally I would say thank you very much Jousy Joseph for hosting me here and I know for with future events I will probably also want to come and share. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our 4 minutes, Nyaxi, karibu. 4 minutes I dream chemu deraba. This is your place. Thank you so much, viewers. And today, of course, being Nyaxi, there's no performance as usual. He has cracked you enough. I'm sure most of you have laughed. And if you want to check out more of Unckle Nyax's content, you can actually go on YouTube. Just do Google Unckle Nyax. You're going to find a lot of stories interesting there. So that is it for you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm out of here. Until we meet next time. Bye-bye.